Let's be honest. You don't want to just like him. You want to live rent-free in his head. You want him thinking about you when he's in the gym, in the shower, scrolling his phone at 2 a.m. You want him to crave your presence, miss you when you are not around, and think about you even when you are silent. You want him to crave your presence, miss your voice, and feel like something is off when you're not around. Obsession isn't about games, it's about psychology. Once you understand how the male brain forms emotional bonds, you can naturally make him chase you without losing yourself. Here is the brutal truth. Obsession isn't created by chasing him. It's not created by begging for attention. And it's definitely not created by changing who you are. Real lasting obsession is built through psychological triggers, the subtle ways the human brain builds deep emotional bonds. In this video, I'll break down 5 powerful psychology-based attraction triggers that can make a man deeply obsessed with you in a healthy, magnetic way. Stick around until the very end because trigger 5 is the one that silently hooks his brain and most women completely overlook it. Trigger 1, emotional imprint. Make him feel, not just see. People don't obsess over what they just see. They obsess over what they feel. When you make a man associate you with strong emotions like joy, calm, laughter, excitement, even comfort, his brain literally starts to tie you to those feelings. This is called emotional imprinting. Think about it this way. Have you ever smelled a perfume and suddenly you thought about someone? That's emotional imprinting. When you create experiences, not just conversations, his memory starts storing your presence in his emotional core. Example, instead of deep, constant talks, create simple warm moments like dancing in the kitchen, laughing at something silly, celebrating small wins with him, or listening with real curiosity. This doesn't mean performing. It means being authentically you while creating memorable energy around him. Psychology says dopamine is released during emotionally positive experiences. And when the brain links that dopamine to you, he wants more. More of it, more of you. He remembers how you make him feel. And that's where the obsession begins. Trigger 2, the power of mystery. Leave space for curiosity. Here is something a lot of women get wrong. They think, oh, if I tell him everything, he will love me more. Nope. Mystery is magnetic. When there is nothing left to discover, the thrill disappears. Healthy mystery isn't manipulation. It's about not over-explaining, not oversharing, and letting him earn access to your deeper layers. You don't have to test every detail of your day. You don't have to explain where you are every second. You don't have to fill every silence with a story. Think about your favorite Netflix series. You keep watching because they don't give you everything in episode 1. A woman who carries a sense of self her own rhythm, her own interests, her own boundaries makes a man leaning closer to figure her out. And when his curiosity is active, obsession is growing. Curiosity fuels obsession. Don't be an open book. Be a story he's excited to keep reading. You get what I'm saying? Trigger 3, the scarcity effect. Value rises when access drops. Let's get psychological here. When something is easy, when something is too easy to access, the brain lowers its perceived value. If you're constantly available, replying immediately, dropping your life at a hey test, his brain begins to see you as predictable. And predictable equals forgettable. But when your time, energy, presence have boundaries, they gain value. You're present and loving when you are there, but you also have your own life. You prioritize your goals, your goals, your growth. You don't make him the center of your world. He becomes a part of it. Scarcity isn't ignoring him. It's being a woman with intentional energy. And here is the kicker. When he realizes your attention isn't guaranteed, his brain kicks into chase mode. It's basically psychology. We value what's not always accessible. High value women don't chase, they choose. Trigger 4, mirroring and emotional reciprocity. Create familiarity. People naturally fall for people who make them feel seen. And one of the fastest ways to build that connection is through mirroring. Mirroring means subtly matching someone's tone, body language, or emotional energy. Not copying, but aligning. If he speaks softly, lower your tone a little. If he's excited, reflect that energy back with your smile and expression. If he's talking about something serious, hold eye contact and ground the moment. What happens in the brain is familiarity, comfort, a feeling of home, and the male brain responds strongly to emotional safety. The real talk is this: when a man feels emotionally safe around you, you become the place his mind returns to when he's away. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. And emotional alignment builds the kind of attachment that creates obsession. Because at the end of the day, people fall for how you make them feel. And trigger number 5, emotional anchors. Make him miss you when you are gone. Here is the secret sauce most people overlook. Obsession doesn't live in the present. It grows in absence. When you create unique emotional anchors, he carries pieces of you in his mind long after you've left the room. Maybe it's a catchphrase you say that makes him smile, or maybe it's the way you look into his eyes with no rush. Maybe it's just your energy, your calm nature, nurturing but powerful. These small personal anchors attach to his emotional memory. When he hears something similar, smells something familiar, or sees something that reminds him of you, his brain triggers. His brain triggers that craving again, and suddenly he's replaying moments with you in his mind. Here is the truth. Men don't miss perfect girls. They miss the way someone made them feel. That's how you live rent-free in his head. Let's make one thing clear. This is not about manipulating anyone into loving you. It's about understanding psychology, owning your worth, and showing up as someone unforgettable. Obsession grows where there's emotion, misery, scarcity, alignment, and unforgettable anchors. So stop chasing. Start becoming the woman who magnetically pulls the right man toward her. Comment below, I choose high value if you're done overgiving. Hit that like button if this gave you goosebumps. And subscribe because next we are flipping the script. How to make her obsessed with you. And trust me, it's gonna be brutal. See you in the next one.